Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm excited because we can finally talk Scream 6. And I'm talking details, guys. And there is a lot to talk about with this movie. If you have not seen this movie and you don't want to be spoiled, my advice to you, turn this off right now, go see it, or wait till you're going to see it and watch this video after, because we're going to be talking nitty gritty details on this movie. There's tons to talk about. It is exciting. If you're ready to talk about this movie, if you're ready to hear spoilers, sit back, grab some popcorn, and let's do this.
If you like horror, hit that notification bell, smash that like button, and push that subscribe button now.
What's the boogeyman?
Hello, Sydney.
Welcome to my nightmare. We want the man who did this.
Welcome to Nick Push's Horror Channel.
So I saw this movie last night, Thursday night, at about 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Right when I was done seeing the movie, I raced home, walked the dog, and jumped right on live with my friend Bud over on the Shape of Horror podcast, where we talked every detail about this movie. Let me pull up his page right now. So this is the Shape of Horror podcast. It's my friend Bud. He's got a great channel. As you can see, a lot of Scream content here. If you go to the live section, you can see right here, Scream 6 review live stream. We talked for an hour 45, beat for beat, about this movie. Like I said, I would encourage you guys, if you're fans of Scream, if you're fans of horror, to go check out his channel and give him a sub. I'd consider it a personal favor, and I'm helping you guys out because he's got a lot of great shit on there. So if you want to go beat for beat for this movie, I would encourage you to check out that live stream. We were exhausted. We could barely stay awake at the end of the stream because, we both worked all day, and then we saw the movie, and then we jumped on live for almost 2 hours. It was exhausting. Plus, I was dealing with some technical issues. Yeah, it was a fun live stream, though. Had a lot of great conversation. And like I said, we went beat for beat. What I'm going to do today is I am going to give you guys my positives on the movie, things that I thought were mixed about the movie, and my negatives about the movie. And this is an interesting movie. I think people are either going to love this movie or hate this movie. Me, I'm still letting it marinate. There are a lot of things in this movie that I just don't know how I feel about. So that's why you'll see my positives and negatives are just about even, which usually doesn't happen to me too often. So like I said, there's going to be a lot to talk about. Do me a favor, guys. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. I got a lot of different things planned for the future of this channel, including in the near future, a lot of different Scream ranking videos. We're going to be ranking the ghost faces. We're going to be ranking the opening scenes. Lots and lots of stuff coming in the next week or so, Scream related. So it's going to be fun. So without further ado, like I said, if you want spoilers, you're at the right place. But let's talk right about the positives. So, my first positive is something that's probably either going to be mixed for a lot of people or maybe negative. I liked it, and I'm talking about the opening scene. Scream is obviously a franchise that is famous for its opening scenes, all the way from Drew Barrymore in the original to Jada Pinkett and Omar Epps in the second one. It's famous for an opening scene, an opening kill. This is clearly the most fucking unique one of the franchise. I dug it because it was different. At some point, things need to change, or else we're just watching the same movie. And if I'm going to be watching the same opening scene again, I'm going to go watch Drew Barrymore, because nothing is going to be better than that. So I appreciate that they did it different. Essentially, you have Samara Weaving in a bar, meeting an online Tinder person or whatever. This person calls and kind of essentially lures her out to the alley where she is killed, where it is revealed that it's Ghostface. And then the jaw-dropping moment happens where he takes his mask off and reveals himself to not only her as she's dying, but to us. My jaw hit the floor. I was like, what the fuck? This is really different. Now we know who Ghostface is? That's fucking weird. But then he goes home and, his roommate is there and they're talking on the phone about how they got to finish Richie's movie. Richie obviously is the killer. Spoiler alert from Scream 5. But, they're talking on the phone and essentially he realizes, he's kind of questioning if this is, his buddy or roommate or partner or whatever the hell it is. Or if it's someone fucking with him. Well, it turns out it's someone fucking with him because this is a Ghostface playing a hot or cold game saying, you're warm. He opens up the fridge and there's his partner's body, and then Ghostface comes up from behind and he says, no, we got to finish the movie or something like that. And he goes, who gives a fuck about the movies? And slashes, and boom, we get a title card. I dug this. I thought it was cool. I'm going to get why people don't like it because it strays from the formula. You probably hear me say that a lot in this review. But I really enjoyed what they did with the opening kill. I thought it was very unique and very different. And my jaw hit the floor a couple times, which is all I can ask for in a movie like this. Continuing with the positives. This is badass Ghostface, just like we saw in the trailers. He's got a shotgun in the bodega. There are a lot of brutal fucking moments in this where you just see the knife going right into someone and the camera just lingers. Not something that we've seen a great deal in this franchise. There's a lot of stabs to the fucking head, whether it's the forehead, the eye, the mouth. It is fucking brutal, and I thought that was a nice change of pace for this franchise, just to be fucking insanely brutal. More positives. The Gale scene that we saw in the trailer. I was concerned that they really kind of blew their load with this scene with what they showed in the trailer. There is a lot more to this scene, and I thought Gale was absolutely fantastic. This was obviously her first time she's ever spoken to Ghostface on the phone, which is just crazy to me. I didn't even realize that till someone mentioned it in my comment section maybe a month ago or so, and it did not disappoint. Gale is smart. Gale is badass. She is cunning. She is resourceful. She is essentially a final girl in this scene. And Ghostface, the way he's taunting her is brutal. He's bringing up Dewey. He's bringing up Sydney, how Gale is never the final girl. And, she's always in the background because it's always about Sydney. I dug this. I thought, Gale really turned the tables and outsmarted Ghostface. And then Ghostface kind of turned the tables back on her. It was intense. And I just really dug this scene and Gale as a character, which I haven't really been a Gale fan since Scream 2. So it was very nice to see Gale have a nice role in this scene. Particularly this scene alone was a highlight for me. So the Gale scene was great. More positives. Sam and Tara and their relationship as sisters. Thought this was very well done. There are moments throughout this film where you see where they are, both personally and in their relationship. Sam is now very overprotective of Tara. Tara wants her to let her go, let her live her life. And that comes into play at the beginning of the movie. And then at the end of the movie, there's a nice payoff for that. But I really dug their relationship as sisters. And I thought both actresses did an outstanding job. Another positive is, so what they're dubbing themselves is the Core Four. Chad, Mindy, Sam, and Tara. And once these murders start happening again, I really like the fact that they did not trust anyone else that was in their life. Chad has a roommate, wasn't around when there was a big scene where people died, and Chad immediately shoves him up against a van. Where the fuck were you? They don't trust him. And then Mindy is basically calling him Ghostface to his face. Sam has a new love interest, and she has to tell him no at the end. You can't come with. I can't trust you. I thought that was very well done, and kind of a breath of fresh air from some of the earlier movies where you get new characters involved, and they're a suspect, but we're not calling them a suspect. We're not calling them out right to their face. They were calling people out right to their face that they're suspects and that we cannot trust you. And I really enjoyed that. I thought it was realistic. another positive, as I'm going to be ducking stones here from people throwing stones at me, and that is no Sidney Prescott in this movie. Look, I am on record many times saying that Sidney Prescott is my favorite final girl, and I absolutely stand by that. But she wasn't needed in this movie. If Sidney showed up randomly, it would have been shoehorned in. The story they were telling did not need Sidney, and I thought the movie was better off not having her in it. And I know that's blasphemy for some people because this is a Scream movie, and Sidney's been in every Scream movie. But I've said this before, I'll say it again. It is time to move on at some point, and I enjoyed the fact that we were able to move on. She was mentioned numerous times, but she didn't just drop everything to come help these people, and she shouldn't. This is not her story anymore. Let her walk off into the sunset. So I enjoyed that there was no Sidney in this. And my final positive is another scene that we got a glimpse of in the trailer, and that is the apartment scene, with the ladder going across from building to building. I really dug this scene. Ghostface was brutal as fuck in it. There's a kill where he's just stabbing a girl from like her belly button up, and it is brutal to watch. But essentially, what I like about this scene is kind of the beginning of it. So Sam's love interest lives across in the building across the hall, not across the hall, a different building, but that you can see you can see their windows, right? And Sam's roommate, Sam and Tara's roommate, Quinn, I think her name is, Quinn, is on the phone on her bed, and this guy from a different building sees Ghostface standing over her, and he's trying to get Sam's attention. Loved that tension. Very well done. And then Ghostface starts killing, and we get the brutal scene, that we saw in the trailer with them going across the ladder and Ghostface really shaking the ladder while Mindy's girlfriend is, kind of bleeding out on top of it until she falls to a brutal fucking death. Really, really enjoyed that scene. So, those are my positives. And keep in mind, this is I've seen this movie less than 24 hours ago, so there's going to be a lot more stuff to break down. But let's get into the mixed aspects here. So, my first mixed aspect, and I'm disappointed that it's mixed, and that is the shrine. Now, it is awesome that it exists. It is awesome that it is there. Every detail that was broken down, from the trailers and in YouTube videos beforehand, 100% accurate. The shrine matters. But the reasons for the shrine being there and why it's there, not a huge fan of. So I thought it could have been utilized better, with more of a tie-in to the past, or somebody from the past. I'm not saying it has to be Stu, but, something like that. I thought it would have been better. So it still is awesome. So it just has to be in the mixed aspect for me because I thought it was an amazing idea that they visually executed fantastically, but it just should have been utilized better. There should have been better explanation. Another mixed aspect for me is when they're doing the usual Scream thing where they're explaining, we're in a movie, blah, blah, blah. Everyone's a suspect. They're talking about how this is a sequel to the requel. Liked that. I like that. And they're basically saying all bets are off. Legacy characters can die. Okay, a really cool scene. Why am I mixed on it? Well, we'll kind of find out in my negatives, but essentially you're telling us all these characters can die, and all bets are off, but then you throw curveballs at us at the end. But we'll get into that in the negatives, but you'll see what I mean. And my final mixed aspect is the third act reveal and motives. This is mixed for me because I can't decide whether I like it or don't like it. So the killers end up being, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. The killers end up being Dermot Mulroney, who is the detective, and his two kids, who are Quinn, who is Sam and Tara's roommate, and Jack Champion's character, who was Chad's roommate. They're all related to Richie from Scream 5. So Dermot Mulroney is all three of their parents. And he's basically doing this for Richie. They're all doing this for Richie because they saw photos that Sam just fucked Richie up, right? And she did. So they're doing this for Richie. What I like about it is the kind of full circle aspect of, in Scream 2, it was all about Billy, because you had Billy's mother. Here you got Richie's family and how this is all about Richie. So I like the parallels between that. But I don't know if it 100% worked for me. I thought Dermot Mulroney was fine. I thought he was good. But I don't know. I thought the third act being in the shrine was cool. I thought there were some great scenes in there. But I'm just mixed on it because I need to let it digest a little bit. Maybe in a week I'll think I love it. Maybe in a week I'll think I hate it. I don't quite know yet. I need to think about it. So it was mixed for me. But there were a lot of cool scenes in there. So, time for the part that everyone loves because everyone gets to bitch about something. And that's my negatives. First negative. Once again, I'm going to be dodging stones here because I don't know if I'm on an island here or not. My first negative is Kirby. I thought Kirby's utilization was terrible in this. I thought Hayden Panettiere's acting was god-awful in this. I'd put her online with Anthony Michael Hall playing Tommy Doyle in Halloween Kills. That bad. It just didn't work for me. I didn't buy it. I found her distracting. I know Hayden hasn't acted in a while, and I know she is going through some family stuff, so I'm not trying to be insensitive. I'm just trying to give you guys my honest to God opinions. But I thought she was terrible. And it pains me to say that because I love Hayden Panettiere. I used to have a big crush on her. I love a lot of her movies. Nashville she's great in. She's terrible in this movie. There's just no other way I can say it. It's unfortunate. It really, really is unfortunate. And I don't know, maybe I am just on a complete island here. Maybe everyone else loved her. Maybe you guys loved her. For me, didn't work. Her being an FBI agent was kind of a weird waste. Didn't buy her as an FBI agent. So for me, Kirby, big negative. Another thing that was wasted was the city of New York. Just like in Jason Takes Manhattan, it wasn't obviously Vancouver like it was in Jason Takes Manhattan, but there was just so many opportunities that they had to utilize the city of New York that they didn't do. This could have been any other city with high-rise apartments, any other city with a lot of people, any other city with a subway. New York should have been utilized more. Maybe it was budgetary. Maybe, I'm not saying, Ghostface has to be hanging off the Statue of Liberty or they need to be running through Madison Square Garden. But what about Central Park? I mean, okay, yeah, they were in a park. Sam and Tara were in a park at one point waiting for a call from Ghostface. I don't know if that was Central Park or not, but the fact that I have to question it, tells me all I need to know. New York was wasted, It's unfortunate because New York has such a distinct atmosphere to it. There's so many movies that you see or TV shows that you see are just vintage New York, and they did not take advantage of it, in my opinion. Another negative. I was been hearing about this post-credit scene. Post-credit scene. So I'm waiting. And it's Mindy saying something for 2 seconds about a post-credit scene. I get it. It's kind of cute. I get it, but this is more of a negative, just like me. Why did I listen to the internet saying there's a post-credit scene? It was dumb. 2 more negatives for me, guys. There are a lot of things that strain credibility and a lot of plot holes in this movie. There is a scene I talked about over on the Shape of Horror podcast last night. We talked about where Jack Champion's character is alone with Mindy. She's stabbed in the subway and he saves her. Nobody else is around. He's Ghostface. Why would he save her? It doesn't make any sense. A lot of things like that, like why are they trying to kill Sam and Tara in the bodega? Really trying to kill them when they need to have this reveal at the end. Like, I know you could do that with every Scream movie. I get it. Why is Ghostface trying to kill Sidney early on in Scream 1 when they want to have this reveal at the end, right? I get all that. But for me in this movie, there was just a lot of things that just strained credibility. Whether it's coming up with DNA samples in 5 seconds or, Ghostface appearing out of nowhere in certain places. There's just a lot of things a lot of plot holes that didn't really make too much sense. But you could say that for every Scream movie. But for me, a few of them just stood out a little too much. And my final negative, something that legitimately pissed me off, and that is fake out deaths. Now, this is the franchise that's the king of that, right? Because of fucking Dewey and Scream 1, Dewey and Scream 2. I get that, okay? But Chad got fucked up in a great badass scene with two ghost faces at once, like synchronized stabbing. They fucked him up, and he's alive at the end somehow. This wasn't Dewey getting stabbed in the back. This was him getting fucked up. Mindy, gutted essentially, or at least stabbed pretty decently in the stomach in the subway. Not only is she alive at the end, she's running around at the end. She's literally running. Like an hour after that. And then you have Gail, who I mentioned her scene earlier, and it was an awesome scene. I stand by what I said earlier, but they had a perfect moment to kill her character off. You know, she essentially got fucked up to perfect moment to kill her character off and have it matter, have some weight and meaning to it. Dewey's gone, her new man is gone, and we don't even know his name, I don't think. You had a perfect moment, and they came this close to doing it, and they chickened out by giving, oh, she's got a pulse. Now, if you actually kill her off, let's say she's in Scream 9 or something, and Courtney Cox says, you know, I'm done with this franchise, you know, kill me off. You know, you're never going to have an opportunity like you just had where you could have some emotional weight. And I thought that they executed that perfectly in the Gale scene, and then twisted it around at the last second because they just were like, no, we don't want to do that. So that's my final negative. But overall, guys, like I said, I'm going to have a lot of ranking videos, including ranking the franchise, coming up in the next few days. Overall, I just gave you a lot of negatives, but I also gave you a lot of positives. This is a fun movie, okay? Just remember, you know, I know it's 2023, and everything either has to be, we loved it, or we hated it, you know? Take some time. Enjoy this movie. We don't get to see movies like this in the theater all the time. It is exciting to have a new Scream movie out. Personally, for me, I think this movie will probably fall somewhere in the middle of the franchise for me, but it is certainly not the worst at all. For me. It's not the best either, but it is not even close to as bad as Scream 3. And Scream 3 is not horrible. If it's the worst in your franchise, you got a great franchise. But this isn't even close to that level. I thought this movie was really well done. You can tell that the creators of this movie had a lot of love and care of the franchise, a lot of different Easter eggs. I had a lot of fun with it, even though, you know, I was nitpicking certain things throughout the movie. That's just the era we live in right now. Everyone with a fucking YouTube channel like me thinks they're a goddamn critic, right? It's important to enjoy these movies. You don't have to like it. You don't have to hate it. It's okay. It's okay. It's a movie. It's fun. But tell me down in the comments, did you like this movie? Did you hate this movie? Are you mixed on it like I am? Where do you think it falls in your rankings? And I will see you guys next time.